What up? I'm B, and welcome to my channel where we talk about all things YouTube drama, true crime, current events, whatever we like. Today we're going to be talking about Todrick Hall and some accusations that have come out about him from his former assistant Thomas McKissock. So, if you don't know who Todrick Hall is, he is an American choreographer, dancer, singer. He was on American Idol. He was an occasional judge on RuPaul's Drag Race, and a few days ago his former assistant put out a bunch of tweets accusing him of things like failure to pay employees and contractors, illegal business practices, fraud, settling a sexual assault lawsuit, sexual harassment, bullying, exploitation, and just everything that could fall under any of those illegal or unsavory actions or business practices. And McKissock said that he never signed an NDA, so technically he's free to talk about all of these things, and that's true, but there could be a problem if he is putting out false information. So what did he say, and is it true, is it not? Let's find out. He did talk about a ton of things in all of his tweets, way too much to talk about in just one quick little video. So I'm going to focus on just a few tweets and we'll give our opinion on those. One of the first ones I want to talk about is he accused Todrick of committing fraud on RuPaul's Drag Race. So he said, does RuPaul and RuPaul's Drag Race, this is on Twitter, know that Todrick lied to producers and committed fraud to have one of his dancers he was dating be on the show? You see, Danny Williams is from England and unable to work in the USA, so Todrick used a PA named Danny to mail the check to. Which, if that is true, yeah, that's fraud. Like, that's not cool. And another one that I wanted to talk about was when he said, this is on Twitter, Todrick bashing, or who wants to see the full video of Todrick bashing Taylor Swift 13? Tamar Braxton Hearst sits in belief but does not comment. Todrick tried to bury the video. Also, Todrick told me that Taylor Swift wore Kim Kardashian's stolen ring doing the Look What You Made Me Do video in bathtub. So those are two pretty serious, very serious allegations. The whole thing with, here's my thing. I think there are some things that Thomas has said that are very reliable. They are able to be corroborated. That's mainly why I'm not focusing on the ones that I think are probably true. He talks about how he doesn't pay people that he hires to do things for him. So, you know, if he hires you as a dancer for one of his videos or to help you choreograph something or doing makeup, hosting Halloween parties, stuff like that, people have come out and said, like, yeah, he doesn't. And something that Rich Lux mentioned that I thought was interesting was he was like, this isn't starving artists anymore. Like, it's not like you guys are helping each other come up. You are a big name celebrity now. You have the money now. You need to pay people. And I totally agree, because Todrick wasn't always big. Like, obviously, unless you're born rich to famous parents, like, people don't know you. You have to start from the bottom. And a lot of times when you're at the bottom, it's like, hey, be in this with me. I'll act in this for you. Help me choreograph this. I'll help you edit. Like, it's a lot of helping each other create content and growing and stuff like that when you are a lesser known artist. But as time goes on, you need to make that mental shift, like that transition of, this isn't how it is anymore. And if I tell somebody I'm going to pay them for something, I have to pay them. And so people have come out, they're corroborating this. This is kind of like a fact at this point that multiple people have not received payment that they were supposed to receive. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. I really want to talk about two of the claims, those two. Saying that Taylor Swift was wearing Kim Kardashian's stolen ring from when she was tied up and robbed in Paris is a huge claim to make, because not only is it saying that Taylor Swift was involved in a crime like that, and she potentially knew the people who did it or helped to orchestrate it. Like, you're kind of implying that she was involved in the planning of tying somebody up, holding them against their will, terrifying them, and robbing them. Like, I don't care who you are, you don't deserve to go through that. You don't deserve to have your place broken into, even if it's a hotel room, if you're renting it, whatever. Like, that is your space, and you do not deserve to have somebody come in there forcibly, control your body, and take things from you. So to put a tweet out like that, I just think is highly irresponsible if it's not true. And it also looks bad on Thomas because you would know about it. You have knowledge of a crime that was committed against somebody else, and I don't know. That's a thing that I have, a problem that I have with a lot of his claims is like, okay, so you're saying that you worked for this person, you saw these horrible things, and you didn't say anything until now. And I don't know how long he's not been working for Todrick, but I doubt that all of these things happened within like a 1 to 2 month period. He quit and now immediately he's telling, this is years of things building up, piling up. He makes multiple claims that Todrick was sexually inappropriate with people on set, that he would treat them like they were sex workers, grabbing them inappropriately, exposing himself, saying stuff like that. And I just really think that, one, those are big claims to make, and two, this isn't something that was a one-time occurrence. This is something that happened multiple times. And even if it didn't always happen to you, I always want to let people handle sexual assault or sexual trauma in the way that is best for them, in the way that's going to help them heal and recover and grow. But as like a bystander, if you're seeing that happen, I feel like you have a duty to report it. It's like people who are like mandatory reporters for child abuse. If you see it, it's your responsibility to say something, because if not, you're complicit. And I understand there's the aspect of him being a victim to some of the sexual assault, and so I don't want to tell anyone, like I said, how to handle it. But if you're putting it out there on Twitter, if you want people to know about it, take it to the police. If you're not going to tell anyone, if you're going to handle it privately with family, with a therapist, whoever, totally fine. People don't have to know. You have a right to handle it how you want. But if you are putting it out onto Twitter, if you want people to know about it, the first people that you tell should be the police. So that's just my thing. I think it's obvious that Todrick has unethical business practices from all the people saying that he didn't pay them, and the whole thing about Danny Williams, the dancer from the UK, that seems kind of like a random thing to fabricate. So I would assume that there may be some truth to that, and if not, maybe, I don't know, I don't want to speculate on anything like that, but that just seems like a solid thing, and that's definitely something that should be known. Like, Todrick uses his connections, he has unethical business practices. Those are things that I'm 100% okay with people not saying until they're done working for somebody, because with that, like, any crime should be reported, but stuff like that, like, if you work at a corporate job, that there are things that happen that you're like, ooh, I don't know if I should say this, I don't know if, like, this is my job, this is my livelihood, I don't know if I would want people to know about that. Like, there are certain places where sketchy things can happen, or people, like, I don't know, you just know, you know what I mean? If you work in a place where maybe they don't have the most ethical business practices 100% of the time, and you know that because it's your job, because it's your livelihood, because you're supporting yourself, you maybe keep your mouth shut until saying it would no longer jeopardize your well-being. And so I kind of get staying quiet on that one, but there are just a ton of accusations out there, and one thing I did want to talk about is the motive behind sharing all of this, because prior to this whole Twitter storm, Thomas only had 13 tweets from the year of 2019. He tweeted in December of 2018, and then there was like nothing for a few months. He has posted some links to his OnlyFans account and a few tweets about working with Tiffany Haddish and stuff like that, but 13 tweets until all of these came out. And something that you might find interesting if you look far back enough is that, and I'll go ahead and post these in my Instagram story so you guys can see. On April 16th, 2018, Tommy tweeted a video, and that video was Todrick Hall talking about how, you know, Tommy's a great assistant, I love him, but I think he has some of that Yolanda in him, you know, the lady who killed Selena. Like, that's basically the joke of the video. And Tommy said, "Happy birthday, Selena. Todrick got jokes. Laugh, crying face, laugh, crying face. Watch Behind the Curtain, Todrick Hall documentary on Netflix, a film by Fairfax Wright and Awesomeness TV." So that was April of last year. Doesn't really tweet for the rest of the year, doesn't really tweet this year, and then 21 hours ago, I took this screenshot right before I started filming, he posts the same video from that previous tweet and says, "Watching this clip of Todrick's Netflix documentary where he makes an all-caps joke of the brutal murder of Selena," with the like confused face. "I wonder if Todrick realized I'm the whistleblower and I'm just the whistleblower and it will be himself who will assassinate," bad choice of words, "his own career by reprehensible conduct and business practices." So that's just something kind of interesting, how you go from making a joke, thinking it's funny, being like, oh, Todrick's got jokes, to calling it, oh, the brutal murder, this is reprehensible, and saying things like that. And it's the same video, it's just a year and a half later. So my biggest thing is, I think a lot of the things that Tommy said are believable. I believe him on them, but there's a lot that is pure speculation. There was a court documents released about a lawsuit that Todrick settled where he was being accused of sexual harassment, and so clearly he did it at least once. If you do it once, it's likely, you know, not going to be a one-time thing unless it's a one-time thing and then you learn, but who knows? There's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of unfounded tweets, but there's also a lot of evidence that has been put out. So I think my hardest thing in thinking about this is I don't ever want to believe somebody with bad motives. I know that like proof outweighs it. Proof outranks your motive. Proof outranks your personality. Whatever thing that somebody might not like about you, if you have proof of something, that's what it is. And so I have to kind of reconcile that in my mind of like, I think his motives are sketchy. I think there were a lot of things that he could have said stuff about, but now he's not, he didn't, and now he's saying it because he also claimed that Todrick didn't pay him for some of the work that he did. And I think it's just a little suspect that he's coming out with all of these things, making so many claims, making so many accusations. But I also believe that he's made some accusations that have been proven by others, that there is proof of, that there are receipts on. So even if I don't like the motive, even if I don't like the way that he's gone about this and the fact that he's spilling it all on Twitter, at the end of the day, looking at the big picture, looking at the proof, there probably is a good amount of truth to his story. And so I think we're just going to have to see what happens. Todrick has not really come out or said anything about it yet. I know he canceled one of his shows since all of this started, and I don't know. I mean, hopefully this all gets straightened out. I mean, in the best way possible. If people need to go to court, hopefully they go to court, and hopefully this is a learning experience on some of these things for him, because like I said, when you go from being a smaller artist, a newer artist, to a big name, there are some switches that have to be made. It's not that there's ever an excuse for sexual assault, but it's not like when you're a smaller artist and you guys are hanging out, collaborating, and you're like messing around with your friends and like smacking their butts or doing whatever, and you're joking, there's a shift that happens once you become big. Once you are their employer, once you are their boss, once you have hired them to do something, they're no longer your friends. And so I think a big part of what Todrick is being accused of could be explained by the fact that that shift hasn't happened yet. So hopefully it's a wake-up call for that, and hopefully if more people come out, or if there is proof of the sexual assault and it is within what's it called? Oh my gosh, the statute of limitations. If it's within the statute of limitations on what they can prosecute for, then do it. I mean, assault is assault, so hopefully, that gets taken care of, and hopefully he realizes that he needs to pay his employees. He needs to follow through on his word. He cannot be defrauding people, and it really is just a learning experience. So that's it. That's all I have. I thought this was going to be a quick video, so sorry. Unless you like long videos, then you're welcome. But let me know in a comment down below what you think. Do you believe Thomas completely? Do you believe Todrick? Who are you siding with? Do you think that there's kind of a gray area of support in the middle where you believe some of the things but you're kind of doubtful of others? Just like I said, let me know down below, and I would love it if you would like this video or subscribe to my channel. And if you have already subscribed, thank you so much. I am so appreciative of you, and I love being able to just sit down, hang out, and talk about whatever. So all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Thanks again so much for watching, and remember to go out there and be the voice of reason in a world full of crazy. Bye.